Hey y'all, I decided to make chicken pot pie for today, so I thought I would just share my recipe with you and how I do things, and we go from there. So I'm gonna put my chicken in some water and I'm boiling it down. I also put a little Cajun seasoning in it to give it a little bit of spice, some garlic salt, and a few onions I just threw in there, and it's just gonna cook down and get the flavor and hopefully do what I want it to do. I also have done the mixed vegetables and the carrots and the peas. I like to get the frozen ones and not do the canned ones. Okay, I got my chicken out. I forgot to tell y'all that I let my chicken cook at a boil. So after it started boiling, I let it cook for 15 to 20 minutes just to make sure that the bigger chicken breast and everything got done. Because I got the chicken strip breast and they cooked really well, really quickly. So I let them cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm going to cut up my chicken, probably in, I might do even smaller than this bites, just depending. Uh, yeah, let's just cut that in half. So we're going to cut that one in half. I'll do better whenever I have both hands. Okay, so I took my frozen vegetables. You can choose whichever ones you want. I chose the peas, carrots, and then I did another mixed bag of the corn and green beans. And I put it in my chicken broth where I cooked down my chicken because I don't want to put my vegetables in my pot pie frozen. And also it just gives it a little bit more flavor when you just put it in the broth. All right, here we go. I got my chicken and everything, and I got it cut up and everything the way I want it. I'm going to get ready to mix all my other stuff together, and I'll show you that in a minute. But I also wanted to tell you, I also was going to just let y'all know that when I'm at home, I'm not at home. That's why I'm able to do these videos. It's quiet here. But when I'm at home and I'm making my chicken pot pie, sometimes I will just leave my chicken in the crock pot and let it cook, and then you can just take a fork and just pull it apart, and it works wonderfully. So if you have to do other things, put it in a crock pot, and then I just mix my vegetables in with it, and then I make my crust, and I'm going to show you how to do that in just a minute. Also put the sliced small potatoes in there because I just like it. You can also do the diced ones or the whole ones, whichever you like. And then I'm going to get ready and just strain this off and add it to it also. So here it is all together. I'm also going to put a little bit of cream of chicken in it to give it just a little bit of moisture and everything, and where it doesn't turn out dry. And I also put a little bit of a shredded Kobe cheese or cheddar cheese, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so now we're going to do the crust, and we are going to hope and pray and cross our fingers because it's always a hit or miss with me. Sometimes I do a great crust, and then other times it works, but it's just not what I love. But so today we're going to hope we hit one out of the park. Here's the recipe for your crust: salt, sugar, all-purpose flour, and unsalted butter. So I have tripled my recipe, but I'm just going to tell you the measurements for a serving of 6. 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of sugar, 1 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, and 1 stick of unsalted butter. That will make a 1/2 cup of butter. Oh, and don't forget your water. So it says 3 to 5 tablespoons of cold water. I am going to put my chicken broth that I have let cool and use it to give it just a touch more flavor. But that's for me, and if you don't want to, just use the cold water. So here it is I'm getting ready to roll out my crust. Now remember to mix in your dried ingredients, then your wet ingredients. And then we're going to roll it out, and I've already put my pot pie mix in a prepped pan, and you can tell that I'm making a big one. And then I'm going to roll this dough out, and I'm going to stretch it over the top, and then I'm going to bake it in an oven that has been preheated to 375 for about 40 minutes, or until the crust is brown. I will also sprinkle some cheese on the top, whichever kind I want, and I think it's cheddar today. Yeah, I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit on it. It just gives it a little touch of flavor that I love. Now, this might not be your mom's or your grandmother's recipe, but it's Jerry Lynn's. It's a modified Jerry Lynn's, so I hope y'all enjoy. So my chicken pot pie is in the oven. I'm sorry I didn't show you the last step of rolling it out on top of the pot pie, the crust on top of it, but I had to get it in that oven so it had 15 minutes to set before I serve it. But we're going to cook it at 375 for about 45 minutes to an hour, or until your pie crust is brown, whichever way you like it. I did not put pie crust on the bottom. I don't like pie crust on the bottom. My husband Matt, he does. I think it's gooey and dewy. I'm all about texture, and he likes it, but I don't. So if you like it, just double your recipe and do one on the bottom and then one on the top. All right, y'all. I done it, and it turned out crispy. I did have to broil it for 2 minutes on 550 because it didn't want to get as brown as I wanted. But here we go, and it turned out good. Listen, I don't know if you. It's done.